Hi everyone. Today we got markets going a little bit higher here on the FOMC day. We ended up holding that higher low at the structure 560. This was the zone we talked about yesterday. Held that zone in the after hours and then pre-market this morning rallied through, hit the 565 level, pulled back slightly and then rallied through that level up to 569.90. Really strong pushes here on the FOMC, pretty much in line with everything we thought was going to happen. But overall, markets performed well, and let's take a quick look at the rest of the charts and see if we can find some direction for tomorrow. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So in news today, we got the FOMC, Jay Powell's comments. They ended up holding markets right at the 4.25 to 4.5 range that we expected, but they did continue to signal 2 cuts coming this year, so that was slightly bullish for markets. They also saw a re-accelerating of the economy at 1.7% per year, down just 0.4 percentage points from the last projection after all of the things that we've seen from the Trump administration. Honestly, that was a little better than expectation. We've seen some pretty negative numbers coming out on the Atlanta Fed data. They also said they are going to start to scale back on their quantitative tightening program, so they're going to slow down the reduction of their balance sheet, another slightly dovish indicator from the Fed. So overall, a pretty dovish meeting, and I think this is going to be a little bit of a bullish catalyst for markets. I don't think it's going to be a ton, but slightly bullish here. You can see the Fed target rate flat now for a couple of meetings. They said they still have a lot of uncertainty around the tariffs, and that those have started to come through a little bit on inflation, which was not super great, not what you wanted to see there. But we have seen a lot of inflation numbers, especially this last iteration, come down and start to trend towards that 2% number. So overall, pretty dovish, and I think this should be a slightly bullish catalyst for markets. Moving over to fear and greed, we got a step up to 22. It says 19 yesterday. You can see slowly grinding higher. We still like to see that. We still think this is contrarian metric and extreme fear. Want to see this push at least to the neutral, so should have a couple of days of bullishness. You got a low, higher, low setup on markets, still extreme fear on all of the indicators. Should be a good area to be slightly bullish from here. Put call ratio starting to roll down. Volatility, we saw that bounce yesterday, but it then pulled back further from there. Safe haven demand also finding a bit of a bottom in there, and then junk bonds back into greed. So all of these metrics finding a little bit of a base, starting to head towards that neutral area in my opinion. Moving over to the economic calendar here, you can see CPI data coming in a little bit soft for the Eurozone. Like to see that. Interest rate projections 3.4 versus the previous 3.9. So signaling those 2 cuts, everything we wanted to see out of this, I think is what we got. And that's why I think markets popped a little bit on it. Tomorrow we do have Philly Fed manufacturing, existing home sales, 10-year tips, Fed balance sheet. Want to see if that starts to slow down or flatline. It's been going down pretty consistently for a while. And then this Friday, you don't have any data, but don't forget this is a quad witching week. Moving over to max pain, you can see 567 is where we're at. 580 is max pain. Total options, huge numbers here, 5.8 million. Put call ratio, 2.12. Pretty high numbers, tons and tons of puts down here. The calls don't really start until 600. So again, looking at pushes here, 573 is a level, 580 is a level. Want to see it get at least to 580, 585 maybe in there. Makes sense. 573 to 580. Absolutely expect to get at least to that level in my opinion, but for now, that's still quite a bit bullish from current price. Moving over to the charts here, starting off with the S&Ps, you can see that bullish day. Up about 1%, you like to see it. We hit the 200 on the hourly chart. We held the higher low like we talked about, hit that 200, hit that next level. Either way, though, this looks like a low, higher low setup. I think we have at least a little bit more room into that 580 area. 579, 78 is my level. Momentum continues to step to bullish. RSI continues to step to bullish. Everything says we should be getting counter trend rally over the next couple days. So same thesis as we've had, and it does continue to look pretty good here, at least for the short term. Moving over to those tasty charts here, you can see we hit that upper ATR band on the hourly chart. That was our upper limit, immediately pulled back from there, but we're still in that kind of upper section here like we were here, expecting at least one more day of push. Want to see this go a little bit more over the next couple days, but either way, good volume, good finish, above all the EMAs and the SMAs on a closing basis. Bullish conditions, everything looks good here for continued bullishness into tomorrow. Moving over to the NASDAQ, similar thesis to the SPY charts, you can see up 1 1/3%. Not as strong as I wanted to see. I wanted to see a close above 481.94, and we were for a while. while, and then we pulled back pretty heavily on that last candle. So you can see it here, super powerful 1 o'clock candle, hit that 200, pulled back into here. Wanted to see it close above there like we did, and then start to push for this trend. Either way though, still looking at the 200 at a minimum, 492, and then you can see the 21 behind it, 497. So in this range is where I think we're going, 492 to 498. Momentum still bullish, RSI still bullish. Yesterday seemed to be a bit of an anomaly, and we are starting this kind of continuation higher and hoping that we get that pretty powerful counter trend rally. The upper limit for this, in my opinion, is going to be this kind of 512 area with that 55 EMA sitting there on the daily chart. Moving over to the Tasty chart, similar to the SPY, once again, you can see we hit that upper band. That was the limit. We couldn't go any higher than that on a closing basis. We did throw a big wick and then immediately rejected. Either way, still above all the EMAs and SMAs, still in bullish conditions, still nice volume into the close. Want to see this continue to grind higher into those levels that we just talked about on the trading view charts. Either way, everything continues to look pretty nice as we head into the Thursday session. Moving over to the Russell and the Dow. The Russell had the best day on the day for the big three, up 1.5%. Really strong, closed above 205. Couldn't quite get to 208, but that would have been a pretty strong push. Momentum bullish, RSI bullish, really powerful RSI, continuing to see the Russell do good things. And then the Dow up just less than 1%, but back above that 418 level. Want to see it push to 426, right in this zone makes sense for me. Either way, momentum step into bullish, RSI step into bullish. Everything says we should get a nice swing on the counter trend rally, at least to here, 428, and then potentially as high as 432. And then similarly here for the Russell, expecting at least 209, potentially as high as 218.80. Moving over to Apple and Microsoft. Apple was up 1.2%, hit that next level and rejected from there. Momentum not super strong, RSI not super strong, so Mag 7 continues to kind of lag here at least a little bit. Microsoft also up 1.12% to that level. 388 was your upper limit. Couldn't get above it on a closing basis. So slightly better than the previous day, but not as strong as you would have wanted to see. In fact, actually, you can see Microsoft actually looking a little better there on the RSI. Want to see it push at least to that next level, 394, but overall, they are slightly bullish. But again, I think the major indices are a better opportunity, at least for now. Moving over to Tesla and NVIDIA, you got Tesla finding some legs, 4.68% back above that 232.57 level. Want to see it hold there, want to see it get above the 8. Tesla finally stopping this catastrophic move, at least for the short term. You got a low, slightly higher low. Seems like an actual opportunity. How high can it go? Hard to say, but definitely for now seems okay. And then looking at NVIDIA, got a gap up and a doji, 1.8% to the upside, momentum bullish, RSI slightly bullish, and then you can see we're right here at that 116.70 level. Want to see that 9 continue to hold and look for a push to that 124 area, potentially as high as 130.35. Moving over to Amazon and Broadcom. Amazon was up 1.41%. Broadcom also having a really good day, 3.66%, right back to that 196 level. Both of these look like a nice base, low, higher low setup on Broadcom, looking for a push to that 55 EMA. And then Amazon doesn't look as good, but you have a bunch of wicks to this 191.64 level, back above 194.49 here. Want to see this push at least to the 205 area. Seems like we're getting some stabilization on this down move. So far, so good in the basing process. Moving over to staples and discretionaries. Staples was absolutely flat on the day to the penny. Threw a big wick to the downside, held a higher low, and then finished flat. Discretionaries up almost 2%. So nice movement here. Seeing a little bit of risk on. That's what you want to see if you're looking for a stronger counter trend rally. Momentum looks good. RSI looks good. Staples is not broken. You still have consolidation, but definitely discretionary showing more opportunity today and hopefully into the next couple days. Moving over to Breadth, got continuation on Breadth, momentum bullish, RSI continues to look bullish on both of these. Want to see it get above the 40 level here on 50-day, 20-day back above the 36, looking to get into positive territory above that 50 level would also be great. Either way, momentum and RSI movement on the price continues to look short-term bullish on both of these. Moving over to the dollar had a huge wick down on the FOMC. Makes sense. Interest rates coming down means weaker dollar, but it managed to stay positive on the day, up about a quarter, so kind of in a basing formation of its own here at the 103.6 level, still staying well above 102.9. Either way, relatively unchanged on the day, still holding this kind of consolidation base, and it does look a little bit bullish here, but again, you have the FOMC and interest rates working against the dollar, so I don't think there's anything to say that we're going to get back into this range. Definitely seemed extended there. but short term I could see a small move. Moving over to bonds. Bonds had a great day. J&K back up over 0.5%, 0.6%, coming off of this bottoming formation here. So back into the range. We've been talking about that. Didn't expect it to break here, and it didn't. Pushed back into the middle. And then you got TLT, nice move there as well. Up 0.5%, looking for this to get back above 92. And ultimately, I do believe this is going to go back to this kind of topping formation here around the $100 level. Moving over to the VIX. The VIX broke that trend line that we talked about. You can see we got a bounce from there, held in the zone, and now we're back below it, back below the 20 level. I think this is going to go at least to the 17s. We'll see if it can get through there. Then you're looking for the 14s. And if it gets to here, we might see a little bit more consistent upward movement from current price. So we'll see. For now, this looks broken. Looking for a little bit more sell on the VIX and bullishness for equities. Moving over to my accounts, I managed to make about $350 on the day, so you like to see that. Everything was good across the board. I was bullish throughout the day. I didn't make too many moves, followed my rules pretty well through the session, and that worked out well. I rolled out some options here, 481 for tomorrow for almost $5 credit, just barely out of the money. Should be plenty of room for bullishness if it comes through. And then looking at the Russell, 205 for 2 days from now for $3 credit, so that puts max profit there at 208. I'll continue to roll these out and play the bullish side. That's what I'm looking for. So overall, lots of green on the board. You like to see it. And I'm positioned well for some more bullish price action, which is what I think is going to happen over the next couple days. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought of the FOMC today. Did you think it was dovish, or did you think it was more hawkish? Let me know. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.